Hey everyone, this is Rowdy's blog of Animation Bliss, and welcome to another Spotlight Cartoon Corner. So today's Spotlight Cartoon Corner is going to be in celebration of Halloween, and it is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, The Nightmare Before Christmas is like one of my all-time favorite animated movies, and I've watched this movie a lot every Halloween, so I would like to tell everybody what this movie is all about and whether or not I recommend it to everybody to watch it. So, what is this movie all about? Well, the movie starts off with all the citizens of Halloween Town celebrating after a successful Halloween, and they're all praising Jack Skeleton, who's known as the Pumpkin King in that universe. But it turns out that Jack Skeleton is not happy with all this. He wants to do something different, so he ends up leaving Halloween Town briefly, and he ends up in this place called Christmas Town where he meets up with Santa Claus, or he just kind of saw the shadow of Santa Claus. He never really met him, but he saw what Christmas Town was all about, and he wanted to bring that to Halloween Town, and he wanted to make it his personal goal to become Santa Claus for that year for something so he could do something different for that year. So while Jack Skeleton convinces all of the citizens of Halloween Town to go ahead and make do Christmas that year, Sally the rag doll, the doll who loves him, ends up discovering that this is not a good idea, and she tries to tell Jack throughout the film that this is not a good idea, Jack. You could get in danger. I fear that something bad is going to happen when you become Santa Claus, or when you're taking the reins from Santa Claus. But Jack wouldn't listen to her, and he ends up going ahead and becoming Santa Claus anyway. And that's when disaster strikes as the film goes on. So that's basically the whole summary of the film without me spoiling too much about the film. So what are my thoughts about this film? As I've said before, I love this film. This is like one of my all-time favorite anime films of all time. And what I've really liked about this film was that it actually explored the idea about what would happen if you try to do something different, but if you don't have a good understanding of what you're going to do, you're going to end up messing up on everything. Like in this film, Jack tries to become Santa Claus because he wanted to do something different, and there's nothing wrong with doing something different. A lot of people do things differently, want to do something different in their lives, and that's great. What this film was trying to say is that Jack Skeleton wanted to do something different, but because he didn't bother to research more about Christmas, or he didn't bother to ask Santa Claus, can I become Santa Claus this year? Or what is Christmas all about, ends up in being a disaster, because all Jack Skeleton knows is how to scare people, because he lived in Halloween Town his whole life. So all he knew what to do was how to scare people, and that's not what Christmas is all about. So that's what I really liked about this movie, about the themes it explores, about what would happen if you don't have an understanding about whatever you're going to do is differently. If you want to do something differently, you should research that topic or whatever first before you attempt to do it without ask researching about the topic first. And that's what I really liked about the movie, is that there was that theme about trying to get the facts first before you attempt to do something. I also like the visuals in this film. It's pretty creepy. I think this is a great movie to watch for Halloween. Like, the visuals are pretty creepy. For example, all the Halloween Town creatures are pretty scary in appearance. I think the movie did a great job in capturing the creepy feel of the Halloween Town citizens. And even though Jack and Sally looked pretty scary, the movie proves that as scary as these characters are, they're actually very nice characters. And I like how Jack is so charismatic throughout the film, and I love his energy, his energetic nature, and trying to do become Santa Claus that year, despite the fact that he doesn't understand a thing about Christmas. And I like the relationship between him and Sally. It shows that Sally really does care about Jack, and she's like, I'm trying to warn you about what could happen if you try to attempt to be Santa Claus, and you have no idea what it's like to be Santa Claus. Like, you don't know what Christmas is all about, and all you know about is Halloween, or how to scare people. So I like how Sally was trying to protect Jack by trying to tell him, don't do this, Jack, because something bad is going to happen. And I do like Jack's enthusiasm in becoming Santa Claus, even though things do go chaotic because of his lack of understanding of Santa Claus. If there was a con with this movie, or like if there was something wrong with this movie, is probably that I wish they gave more development to Oogie Boogie, the villain of this movie. Like I felt like he was just introduced to cause problems, but we don't know much about his character. I think they did explore a little bit in Oogie's Revenge. I'm not sure the video game Oogie's Revenge, but I haven't played that game, so I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah, I would have liked to know more about Oogie Boogie's character. You know, where did he come from? Why does he hate Jack Skellington so much? I would have loved it in the movie explore more with that, because I think Oogie Boogie is a pretty interesting villain, but I feel like we don't know a lot about his character. So I would have loved it if the movie had explored more with Oogie Boogie's character, so we get to know more about where he's coming from. So, do I recommend this movie? Yes, I highly recommend this movie. I think this is one of the best Halloween movies of all time. Well, some people watch this around Christmas time, but I watch it mostly during Halloween because it has more of a Halloween feel than anything. Some people do watch it around Christmas time, and I might watch it around Christmas time someday. But I like to watch this movie a lot during Halloween because it just seems to be that type of movie that you could watch during Halloween time. But yeah, I highly recommend this movie. I think this is one of Henry Selick's and Tim Burton's best movies ever created. So I definitely highly recommend you watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a fantastic movie. I can't say enough. You gotta watch this movie because it's really great. Well, that's my review on The Nightmare Before Christmas, and be sure to follow us on Twitter so we can keep you updated any new videos we post up, and also like our Facebook page. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rowdy's blog on Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.